Alright, so in this video we're going to talk about solving systems graphically, especially radicals. Okay, we would do this in either a graphing calculator or in Desmos, and I'm going to show you Desmos because I don't have a graphing calculator on my system. So, and I know everyone has access to Desmos at least, not everyone has a calculator, so I feel like that would be more beneficial to our time. Okay, so this right here, again, you can use any of that technology that you are interested in using. Okay, so you're going to start by, to find the solution of any two equations, you can use technology. So start by graphing both of the equations on the same graph. Okay, you may need, this is kind of important, you may need to solve for y by itself, so both equations are in the y equals format before you graph them. However, in Desmos, it doesn't matter if it's equal to y or not. Okay, so again, this is calculator steps if you're using a calculator. So you're going to type it into y equals in y1 and then in y2. You're going to find where the two equations intersect using the second intersect feature. We'll just click on the dot in Desmos. And then if they intersect once, they have one solution. If they intersect twice, they have two solutions. Sometimes they'll intersect 3 or 4 times. Okay, they can have more than 2 solutions, but in this class we specifically just kind of focus on 1 solution, 2 solutions, or if they don't cross at all, what happens? So it doesn't cross, it means that they have no solutions. Okay, and that does happen sometimes. It's not really an issue. So again, I have this right here. So we have the following system of equations here. So in our calculator, we're going to click on y equals. We're going to put the two equations into there. But notice how these two, this equation and this equation, are different. Well, that's because you have to get y by itself, okay, before you can do anything like that in your graphing calculator, all right, not necessarily in Desmos. So when we do that, we're going to hit graph, and then we find the intersection. You hit second, trace, 5, and then we hit enter 3 times. Now notice there are 2 points of intersection here. Okay, so you have to move your cursor to the other points to make sure. And then this would be one of your intersection points, and then this would be another intersection point. Okay, now the question asks for this one just in case it's a whole solution, because it doesn't say, it says right here it has whole number answers. These are going to be decimals. All right, so let's talk about this in Desmos. So again, you're going to, this is the same problem. You're going to, you actually don't need to, let me show you, you don't need to actually solve for y in this case. Let me show you how to do that. So in Desmos, y equals 3x squared minus 8x plus 5, and then we add a second one, and again, you don't have to solve. So x plus y equals 3. And see, in Desmos it's a lot easier because you don't have to solve. So again, we have 2 points of intersection. If you click on the points, it shows you what the 2 solutions are. So it's a very, very straightforward method to do this. And then again, it asks for the whole number solution, so your solution would be 2, 1. Okay. So sometimes, again, they have those 2 solution sets. So if you're using your graphing calculator, you want to make sure you solve for y in both of them. Personally, I think it's easier just to go ahead and plug it into Desmos. Again, you don't have to plug it into Desmos. how you see it. I'm sorry, you can plug it in how you see it, my fault. So let's get rid of this equation. So remember, it's xy plus 2 is equal to 0. And again, it just graphs it for you. You don't even have to solve for y for Desmos. You do for your graphing calculator. So if you're going up into the upper level math courses in your future high school career, you want to make sure you learn how to do the calculator portion. However, for Math 1, 2, and 3, the Desmos is available to you at all times mostly. So here, again, we have those two solutions, okay? So again, we're just finding where they intersect. Okay? And then it's very, very straight. We did this before. It's very, very, very straightforward. The only thing you want to be making sure that you're doing is once you find the solution, you just want to make sure that you plug it back in, and so that it doesn't become, if it's under a radical, you want to make sure it doesn't become a negative under the radical. That's the only thing you need to be careful of. But other than that, that's how you do it, and it's a pretty easy process. Desmos, again, helps a lot with working with this, but you are more than welcome to use your graphing calculator to do all of this. Just make sure you solve for y first.